at the end of this course, we're not expecting you to be superheroes or be in a position whereby you can administer surgery. It's when you see someone who's injured and knowing what to do. A good example of this, I can give you a different live example. On Monday night, I was driving along Winton Road by the petrol station, saw a crowd of people. There was a young lad lying on the floor. He'd been bricked. His head was bleeding. But the lady's a first aid, and what she did was, that's his head, and Jack will tell you about this, she had her scarf and she had it against his head, applying pressure. And she actually called the bleed. And the police, I think the fire engine, a small fire engine from Aston was passing, then they got the police, and then the ambulance eventually made it there as well. It was still a major incident, got whacked in the head with a brick, but the point, it was a head injury and he was bleeding. Point being that someone actually did something that clearly made a difference to that individual. Jag will talk to you about what you do about talking to people and things like that, trying to take the details. But the importance is this, that it makes a difference. A better example is the night I was on Villa Road, Handsworth. Guy fell in front of my car, used my car to park across him, but I saw people helping him out. And we used, you know the blue roll you have, we used that. The RAC van was there and applied pressure. When the blood soaked it up, we applied more and more and more until the police arrived. Now, the police arrive. So when someone gets stabbed, for example, what happens? Someone discovers them, they get the mobile phone out, someone starts videoing, just telling you how it is, and they forget the mobile phone can actually dial 999. Then someone else comes along and dials 999, you get through. Ambulance is on standby, but ambulance doesn't come in until an armed response vehicle comes in, because that's the risk assessment. So you have to wait for the police to arrive. Now that Winton Road situation, the police arrived, but when the police, because normal police came, normally it would be an armed response vehicle, and they secure the scene, then the ambulance comes in. That can be up to 20 minutes, half an hour. You've only got 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and the person's, on the way out. So tonight, we're talking about you being a zero responder, the person who discovers, and what do you do? So bleed control kits, Jag will go through those, but the importance of it is just to give you an understanding of making a difference. And why do we want to make a difference? We want to make a difference for one reason. Great Hampton Row in Newtown was synonymous for, we used to call it gun alley. You'd get shot down there, a young guy got shot in the head. Lady saw one of our videos online. They brought him to the cost-cutter shop that the police put a closing order a couple of days afterwards. But she saw the bleed control kit, she picked it up, she remembered, applied pressure on his head, and saved his life. That's it. That's what it's about. It's just about changing the narrative. He would have died. There's no doubt about that. But the narrative was changed, that the community responded and it saved the person's life. Maybe to the annoyance of the person who pulled the trigger. But the thing about it is, this is about just changing the narrative and making a difference for where you live. Okay? So I'm going to have to dash off, and I'm not being disrespectful. So sorry about that, but I'll leave you with our trainer, Jay.